Well, after our little blip, that is count them, two away wins on the trot. Arsenal run out 1-0 winners against Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. You absolutely do love to see it. Back at the top of the table, my people. Let's get into it. Good afternoon, my peoples, and welcome back to the Counterattack. I hope you and yours are doing very, very well. Today, the Arsenal, travel up to the Midlands again for another away game, taking on Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. And I looked at the lineup this afternoon, and I was expecting a win no matter who played, but Arteta, sneaking a little change in there. Look at that. Leandro Trossard coming in for Eddie Nketiah. Eddie has been a little bit wasteful in front of goal. Maybe he needs a little bit of a rest. Either way, he gets it today. Other than that, same old suspects. Lo and behold, it was a good, energetic start from the Arsenal. The last few games haven't really started too well, but today we absolutely did. Penning Leicester City in, and you can see Leicester City's game plan today was it going to be exactly like Brentford, exactly like Newcastle. They were going to sit back and try to hit us on the break. They looked vaguely threatening very, very rarely in that first half, but our build-up play in the first and second phases, absolutely stupendous. I knew that today, though, it was all going to depend about how clinical we were in the final third. Well, I was hoping today we could just do without the VAR nonsense, without some refereeing clown show, but I didn't exactly get my wish. VAR... Leandro Trossard, he finishes beautifully in the top corner, past Ward. But the VAR has another look at it. And honestly, at this time, listen, I have been very critical of the referees in the Premier League, and rightly so. A lot of them are just frauds, charlatans, and, people running a clown show. But today, well, at least on this first VAR call, I have to give it to the VAR official. I do see White sort of holding Ward's arm down, and it does inhibit him and stops him from jumping and punching the ball away. Leandro Trossard, he did finish well, but that's a little soft, but I understand why he gave it. But, however, I am looking to see if they call it consistently, not only for the rest of the season, but across this very game. Well, my peoples, a few minutes later, I was let down by these refereeing officials. Absolutely shambolic. Few minutes later, maybe not even 5, Saka is dragged down by Harry Souttar, and there is absolute silence from the VAR. Scandalous. I hate to see it. Souttar is all over Saka's back, and then he sort of trips over his leg. It's a clear penalty. But the VAR, he sees nothing. Overall, it was a decent first half. While we didn't get the goal, we were dominating the game. Leicester City, they barely could get into our half. Ramsdale, an absolute passenger. And really, all we need is some clinical shooting in that final third. Way too many misses way over the top or way to the side. And Leandro Trossard's goal was a little bit unlucky. But second half is coming. I need that 3 points. I did not have to wait too long, my peoples. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Here we go on 46 minutes. I believe it was Gabriel who clears it out of defense. Sort of a long looping ball. It comes to Trossard. He feeds in Martinelli, gets around the defense, and slides it past Ward. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Really good finish from Martinelli, and I'm really pleased that he got the goal today after, about a month or so of, he was a little bit, lukewarm to cold. But today, great finish from him. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Let's go, boys. The first 15 minutes of the second half was pretty much a carbon copy of the first. We're dominating the ball, dominating passing, dominating the field, absolutely loving it. I was smiling from ear to ear, my people. Love to see it. But Vardy comes on, and we all know how much of a problem this guy is. Tielemans comes on, and we all know how much of a problem he is. I was a little bit nervous that they were actually going to start playing and start to threaten our defense. And honestly, those substitutions did give them life. After the 65th minute, we sort of lost control of the game. Not to say that Leicester City were, dominating and peppering our net or laying siege to our side of the field or anything like that. That did not happen at all. But they looked much better. They were coming forward a lot more. And our defenders, Gabriel, Saliba, had to do some defending. And boy, did they defend so well today. Really, hats off to those two. And Ben White. Beautiful defending. As they slightly grew into the game, Brendan Rodgers, he sends on a few more forwards. Patson Daka, I believe he sent on. But it it didn't really do too much. Gabriel and Saliba and Ben White to a lesser extent, just shepherding the game nicely, just seeing it out, and that's what I love to see from my defenders. And the game, after about the 70th, 75th minute, it got quite physical. A lot of fouls, especially Leicester City on us. Referee was handing out a few cards, but it did get physical. And I wasn't too upset with that, because the last thing I really wanted was a super open game where both teams were getting chances and Leicester had a chance to, draw level or maybe even go ahead. So the physical nature and the sort of like chippy, stop-start nature of the game when it got physical, it suited Arsenal. And that's kind of how it all petered out. I thought we played really, really well today, and there are a lot of candidates for man of the match. Special mention, I think, to the defenders. Gabriel Magalhaes, he has been quite good this entire season. I've seen some pretty big leaps in his game. He's much more calmer of a presence. I love to see it. Saliba, last few weeks, he sort of tailed back up. He's doing quite well. The defenders, they did very, very well today. But the man of the match today has to be Olivier Zinchenko. Zinny. Love that guy. He was bossing it in the midfield. Oftentimes when I give credit to the defenders, I don't really mention Zinchenko, and that's because he doesn't really play in defense. He's always in the midfield, and today he played very, very well. Last few games, I thought his form was dropping off, but today he ran the show, and we should have had more goals, and a lot of them would have been because of him. Man of the match performance. Hats off to you, sir. Please slap that like button, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.